Hey everybody, it's Swab here. I just discovered this game a couple of days ago, and I've been really quite enjoying it quite a bit on Tabletop Simulator. So I thought I would walk through a playthrough of it. This game is The Phantom, the card game, created by Mikael Lyck, I believe is how you pronounce the last name, and he is self-publishing this, and all the art is created or pulled right from the original Phantom comics, which I find quite a neat little factor. This tabletop simulator mod was designed by HagarLucky, and it's pretty smooth. I quite like it. So this is an adventure card game. It plays probably most similarly to something like Marvel Champions or Warhammer Quest adventure card game, both FFG. I really have been, enjoying what this kind of plays out. So I'm going to be playing one of the first scenarios through, and I'm just going to walk you through how the game plays as we go. So this here is our legend card. We're going to be playing as Phantom in the story, the 21st Phantom. And it's going to have a couple of different phases that we're going to be playing through. As we play, we're basically going to be reading a lore card and then getting a portion of a scenario. And there'll be an event trigger that'll bring up the next part, and we're going to be playing through the entire storyline. So we'll get that set up for us. We'll start this mission here. Just pulling things out here. So here is the lore card for part 1. And let's flip that there. So you decide to make a journey to explore the deep woods and the wilderness surrounding it. Saddling the 20th Phantom's horse, Thunder, you ride away from the Skull Cave. Sometime later, on a windy day, you reach the desert at the foot of the Misty Mountains. Here, the trouble starts. A pack of wolves, led by Satan, is homing in on you. So after you read that flavor text, you'll see there's a couple different instructions how to set up the cards to get the mission started. So we're going to be playing Thunder, which is card number 2. We're going to play as an ally right onto our tableau without having to pay its cost, which is amazing. It's a great little card. We'll talk about it when it comes out. We're going to set up some of these wolf enemy cards that will come out quite a bit throughout the scenario. And then we're going to be pulling out what we call the Destiny deck, which kind of brings in a little twist that we have to kind of take care of as we play through the scenario. And then we're also going to pull out the Story of Devil Part 1 and read it as the active mission. So this here will be Thunder, and we will have it in our play area. Thunder is our horse, or the 20th Phantom's horse. Normally it would cost us 4 tokens or resources of the good mark variety to get this, and it's going to give us an ability where we can exhaust the card to let us draw an extra card. So it's going to be helpful right into the game here. Here are those wolves. They have a heroic and mythic side and an easy normal side, and we are going to play, let's play it on normal. So we're going to leave those here, and we're going to set them, the whole set of them, just aside up here. This here is the Destiny deck, and as I mentioned, every turn during the Destiny phase, one of these cards is going to flip, and it'll have an impact on the game and on the story. For this first little bit, it's going to be static, and it'll be the same every time you play it through. But as it'll go, we'll be adding more cards to it and randomizing it a little bit. Now it's just going to live here on the Destiny deck pile. And finally, we have our mission. And we are going to play that, as I say, on the easy normal side. We're playing on normal. So Story of Devil Part 1. And it has a little bit of text telling us how we're going to be playing it through. So if a Destiny card, which are these purple cards here, says play a Destiny card, instead of playing another Destiny card, because you can kind of chain them together, multiple Destiny cards will come out at once, we're going to actually place a wolf on the Destiny row. And then the next trigger is if the event Colonel Bagshot is removed from the game, read the lore card 2. So that's what we're looking for. We're going to be playing through the Destiny deck until we hit that Colonel Bagshot card, which will let us move on the story. And as it said, it brings out these wolves. These wolves are an enemy, and in the easy normal side, they have 1 health each. And at the end of the round, if they are still out in the destiny row, which kind of just sits right in this area here, they will end up doing a wound to us. So here is our collection of wound cards, and they'll cause different issues to happen, or different ailments to happen to us. You can get things like a shoulder wound, which will cause you to drop any of your weapons or not use your weapons. You can get flesh wounds. If you end up having 3 flesh wounds in a row, or 3 wounds total rather, you'd lose the game. Some of these wounds, you only need 2 of that kind of wound to lose the game. So you want to keep an eye on what's going on there. I'm just going to shuffle it up before we start. Okay. You'll notice on the player deck card, it says we have a hand limit of 3. So here's our deck. Just going to place that on top. And once we get to the preparation phase, which is a 3rd phase of each round, that's when we'll be drawing cards up to our hand limit. So we are ready to start. We're going to start right at the top of the order with the recovery phase. And we don't need to worry about that phase for this first round, but basically what it does is we can heal by removing all of the wounds that we've suffered into a discard pile of wounds, or actually basically remove them out of the game. Or any cards that were exhausted, we can write them and get them ready to play. So we're going to skip that for now. The next phase is our Destiny phase. So we'll pull the Destiny card. And it's an attack. It's an event card. And it says to play a Destiny card, and then to put this card, the attack card, into the resolved pile. So if you remember our mission, it says if it says to play a Destiny card, instead play a wolf. So that's what we'll do. We will discard, and a wolf will come out into the Destiny row. And it has 1 health for every card with a subtype wolf in play. So fortunately right now, we just have this 1 card that is a wolf. And so we've just got, it has 1 health on it. And let's see if we can remove that before the end of the round so we don't have to take some damage. Alright, so we will pull 3 cards into our hand, and we'll take a look at them. And who would have thought? Oh, did I shuffle this? I don't know if I did. Nope, definitely did not shuffle these cards. So let's get those shuffled up. Don't want to have 3 campfires in a row if we can help it, unless that's actually how it worked. Alright, shuffled. Now we'll bring 3 cards into our hand. There's a much more variability to the cards, a little more variation of the cards. If you take a look at the cards, we have 2 different types of cards. You'll notice halfway down that the cards have a allied or ally type, these blue ones. Here's my other one, the Bandar Warrior, also ally. And we have an action card as well. This is the green type. On a card, there's a couple different things we want to be looking at. Right now, our big important things are taking a look at the top left circle, which is that black mask looking icon, which is a stealth token. That's the resource we'd have to pay in black in order to play this card into our tableau. And on the other side, you'll see in that green circle on the right hand top side of the card, that is the resource we get if we discard the card. So in the beginning, we don't have any resources. We really want to consider building up a collection of resources and see if we can get any cards played to the table. However, before we do that, we do have Thunder sitting out here, and Thunder's ability is really just to be the card that we exhaust in order to let's draw another card. And that can happen every turn as long as it is ready at the end of the previous round. So why don't we exhaust Thunder, wear him out a little bit, do a little bit of hunting or foraging for us, a little bit of searching, and we've pulled the Colt 45, which is an item card. It's an excellent card for doing combat damage. Discarding it right now for that green skull. The skull mark is the hardest resource to get. So discarding it to get that resource would be excellent. And that resource is very important because it's the only resource we can use in which to perform a combat and attack an enemy in the Destiny row. And we have that one wolf there, so we definitely want to be taking care of that and getting that skull token. If we could afford to, if we could get the 3 skull tokens, it'd be lovely to be able to pay the cost and put that card on the table. It's a great card for clearing enemies out of the Destiny row. However, we definitely cannot afford that right now. So it's a great card for us to discard and discard it, and we are going to grab ourselves a skull token. If you take a look at the top of the legend card, you'll notice it has a top right corner. It has a token limit of 6. At the end of the round, you must have only 6 or less tokens for resources. And I love that the player aids add those little, look like coffee stains to me, for markers for placing your tokens. So we've got our 1 skull here, and it is placed there, and it's ready, and we could use that to initiate combat during this adventure phase, which we're now in, where we play our cards and discard our cards, initiate combat, and activate cards. However, before we get too worried about doing that, let's see if we can afford anything else. You know, we could afford to get the Bandar Warrior out, and it is a helpful card. During combat, once we initiate combat, we automatically, just for initiating combat, we get 1 damage, 1 success against the enemy. However, we also flip the top card out of our hand, or out of our player deck, and if that has a skull on it in that black section, the number of skulls equal an extra +1 damage. So you'll see that right here. Play a skull. When it's initiate combat, we immediately get 1 damage. We flip a card and we check that right or left hand section there with those black icons, and for every skull icon we have, we would do a damage. So being able to, during combat, exhaust this card, it's benefit that also that good mark, that X token. If we see that icon, we would also be able to count that as damage, which would be very helpful for later on. However, these wolves this wolf right now only has 1 health, so I'm not too worried. I think I'm going to hold off on using that right now. And I think we're just going to probably discard that for its phantom token. Are we? That is tricky. The Bandar Explorer, it has another ability where I'm tapping and spending a wild resource. That diamond icon is a wild resource down in that area there to get a good mark. I don't really love that card for right now either. I might just discard everything just to gain some resources for now. So I think that's what we're going to do. First turn, very exciting. We're going to discard to gain a good mark. And we'll discard Seek Shelter. Maybe we'll bite for these. We'll discard the Bandar Warrior to gain that stealth token with a little phantom mask. And I'm actually going to spend that stealth token to be able to play Seek Shelter. We might not use Seek Shelter. We might not use it for a while. It's a 1-use card. It's an action card. And it has the trash icon. So if you trash this card by putting it into your discard pile, we can place an ongoing event into the resolve pile. Sometimes events come out, actually most events come out, and they're pretty negative. So any ongoing events like bad weather that might impact how many cards you can hold in the hand, those kind of things, we can discard those to minimize the effects. So this might be a handy action card to keep hold of. We may need to pull the trigger on that, so we'll hold on to that. Okay, before we end our round, we really got to take care of this wolf here. So, to initiate combat, we're going to spend a skull token, and that immediately gets us +1 damage. We still do have to do the card check. but as we can see, that wolf only has 1 health. So we know we've got it. We do have to do the check. So you take the top card off the deck, you check it, and it's a diamond. And that diamond is a wild, which means it actually counts as a skull. So we have potentially done 2 damage, a little bit of overkill, more than we need to do on that wolf, but hey, you know what? It is gone. Sad part is this would be a great card to have drawn, but because we use it as a check, it does go into the discard pile. And because we managed to do 2 damage, which is more than enough to get rid of that wolf is out of the pile. It does not go into the resolve pile. The wolves, as it said, they're placed aside. They, instead of placing this on the resolve pile, put it to the side. So this is going to go back, and we're going to get more of those pie coming out soon. All right, let's see where we're at. We've done the recovery phase, or we skipped the recovery phase for the first round. We had the destiny phase where a card came out telling us to play a wolf. We have prepared ourselves by drawing 3 cards. We've played our cards, then we did our combat, tapped thunder. The adventure phase is over, on to the fate phase. If there are any enemies in that destiny row, which fortunately got rid of that 1 wolf, we would take damage from that card, from the deck. Don't have to worry about it. And the cleanup phase, it says discard all cards that are in hand. That's an older version of the rules to my understanding, and now it's you can discard down to you can discard as many cards as you would like. You are able to save cards between rounds. A lot of times, though, it makes sense just to spend them to get their resources. But there are times where you get a really great card you want to hold on to. All right. So now we're at the top of the round again in the recovery phase. We could heal if we took damage. We didn't take any damage, so we're not going to worry about that. We get to ready all player cards. This means we can bring Thunder back up, ready to be tapped or exhausted again to gain another card. I should mention, since we're playing on normal, I'm not, well, oh boy. There are some extra cards that you can get for performing certain achievements during the game. And it's kind of a nice thing to kind of keep track of. You know what? Let's pull it out, because we haven't got very far. We haven't beat any achievements yet. Let's take a look. Here we go. The achievement card. All right. While we're playing this mission, we can be watching for these achievements. If we manage to do any of these things, such as place 2 enemies in the resolve pile on the same turn, or manage to do 6 wound tokens on the same turn, or use 1 weapon twice in the same turn, we can check off the box, and you would draw a specialty card. That specialty card is a much more powerful card we can add to your deck. The nice thing about it is permanent. Even if you end up losing this mission at the end, that card is going to stay in your deck forever. It's almost like a legacy aspect. And so potentially you can add, by completing all these achievements, you can add up to 7 new cards into your deck. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. And it really helps. Completing these achievements in these like easy and normal levels will really help when you get to the heroic and mythic levels. So something we'll keep an eye on. The ones I suspect that we might be lucky to get hit would be maybe placing 2 enemies in a resolve pile on the same turn, if we're really lucky, or having 3 allies in play at once. So 3 of those blue cards. We got Thunder already out, and I'm sure we'll get some more as we go. So we'll have at least those 2 to watch for. Let's draw a random card to add to our deck. And at the end of this game, if we manage to win, we might have Devil in play as an ally, which will also get us another achievement to add at the very end of the mission, which we could then use to play the mission again or play the next story, and have that card in our deck ready to go. So we'll keep those out just in case. And there is the achievement cards. We'll set that right there, out of the way. Okay, so we have done the recovery phase. Thunder is back up and going, and it is time to play another Destiny card. There's only 1 left in there. If you're playing the game and you've ever run out of Destiny cards, I believe the mission is also over. But we're not going to be too worried about that, because I think the story is going to progress in a way to help us fill this thing out. Okay, it's another attack. So we're going to be playing another Destiny card, which actually just means, if you remember from our mission card that instead of following what the card says, we're actually going to play another wolf. So we're going to play another wolf, and then we're going to discard this card into the result pile. All right, that same wolf we just got rid of, it's back. Lots of wolves in the wolf pack. Destiny phase is done. We are now going to draw on up. Okay, we've got a sprint, which is an action. Just trash the card to gain a card. If we didn't have thunder, this would be great, and this might be really handy still. We'll think about it. Campfire. Trash this to draw any card. I wonder if that text is different than the spirit text. I haven't thought about that before. And the Bandar Warrior is back. You know, I think... Well, you know, let's tap Thunder and draw our fourth card. Message from the Jungle. All right, here is a card worth playing. I really like this card. It really adds interesting little benefit or boost to this. So, the reason I like it is you can play any resource to get it. That's what the diamond means, play any wild resource. And then we could trash that card, and we're going to follow through what it does. We're going to look at the top card of any deck. So that could be the damage deck, it could be the destiny deck, it could be your own deck. Any kind of resource of your choice, any resource you want. There's 4 main resources in the game. We've got your skulls here in blue. We've got our stealth tokens, our chi, and our good marks. These just help with tracking damage, tracking story elements, tracking extra boosts that cards might get. I always want a skull, to be honest. Skulls are the hardest to get. We talked about that already. That's what we want to get. So we've got to pay for this card. We need to play a good pet, spend a good mark in order to do that. We've got a good mark. Let's spend that good mark and play Message from the Jungle. And we're instantly going to trash it. Let's get rid of that. And I'm not too worried just at the top of my deck right now. But I am worried about what kind of damage we might be facing later. So let's take a quick look at the top card here of the damage deck. It's a shoulder injury. I don't like these. If we were to get a shoulder injury, we can't use any weapons. And if we ever get that cold out, this would be a huge detriment to us. And if we ever get that second shoulder injury that's in that deck, we would instantly lose the game. So we don't really want to get this injury. Right now I don't have any weapons, so it's not the worst thing that'll happen. But the bigger worry is if we have to pull a second wound or a second injury, would that be a shoulder injury as well? And would that cost us the game right then and there? So it's kind of good to know what is coming. It's not the most frightening one, but it is also not the best. So we've looked at that, and we gain a resource, and we will take a skull. I honestly don't feel like we need any of these at this moment, so I think we're going to discard all 3 of these again in order to get those resources. So a good mark and 2 stealth tokens. All right. We're out of cards. We could, of course, just trash this if there was an event going on, but there is not in the Destiny row. There's no events. But we've got to get rid of this wolf. So let's spend our skull token to do that. So again, spending that skull token immediately gets us 1 damage, which is enough to kill that wolf, but we still got to do the check. So, oof, overkill. 3 skulls. That would have done 3 extra damage. That would have been 4 damage. And that would have just taken out that wolf plus anything else. So really, that's a lot of overkill. Alright, so the wolf is gone. And our adventure phase is over. Fate phase, if there was any any enemies in the Destiny row, which again there's not. We take damage, and then we go into the cleanup phase, where we could discard cards if we wanted to. We've got nothing to discard, and we are back to the top of the recovery phase. No wounds to heal, so let's bring Thunder back up, and let's play this last Destiny card. Alright, Colonel Bagshot. Colonel Bagshot defeats all the wolves in play. Well, there's nothing there. We already cleared them all out for you, Colonel. Place them to the side, and then remove Colonel Bagshot from the game. Alright. My interpretation is that he's gone out of the game entirely. I'm not even going to put him in the resolve pile. He's just gone. And that story told us that, or story card told us that in the event Colonel Bagshot's removed from the game, which just happened, read lore card number 2. Okay, so let's get part 2 going. I should mention, there are achievements. There's also a loot table where every time you attack and defeat an enemy, you can try to gain a bonus card. I'm just going to skip that for this game. It's recommended just to ignore it for your first game. It can benefit you, for sure. But you know what? Just for the sake of the extra upkeep and all the enemies you might have to fight, let's just skip it. So let's see what this lore card has to say. After Colonel Bagshot kills Devil's mother, the mate of Satan, he steals 2 wolf pups with the intent to train them as hunting dogs. You see Devil lying beside his dead mother, knowing he won't survive without your help, and decide to adopt and train him. Alright, well that's kind of us. We've been attacked by a bunch of wolves, but we have a soft spot for this young wolf pup. So we are going to bring some cards into the Destiny deck, which is good because it's empty. We are going to bring Little Devil out onto the Destiny row, and we are going to bring the next part of the story out. Alright, so here's a Destiny deck. We're going to give that a quick little shuffle. Here is Little Devil, who's going to live in the Destiny row. And as you can see, we're going to be playing on normal, so we'll keep that normal card up. You also have a heroic version. We got a bunch of cards here. The mythic, and we'll just get rid of that because we're not playing at that difficulty level. You could also be playing on easy. It just kind of lowers the challenge for completing the objective. So we're playing on normal. Let's take a quick look at our objective here. Little Devil objective. There's a cute little wolf pup there. So we can exhaust an ally card or spend 2 good marks, and that will put a training token on this card, which are one of those story tokens we looked at, those black little time tokens. And when their Devil is trained, when there are 5 or more training tokens on this card. So we need to get 5 training tokens on this card as quickly as possible, so to minimize the number of Destiny cards coming out of the Destiny deck. Okay. So we managed to, we finished the Destiny phase. We played Colonel Bagshot and he came out. So onto the preparation phase. Let's pull our 3 cards. Depending what they look like, we might pull a 4th of Thunder, or maybe we'll just tap Thunder, exhaust Thunder, to help train Devil. So let's take a look. Message for the Jungle. We've seen this card already before. Great card. Definitely gonna get a skull token with it, I think. Campfire. Help us draw cards. If Thunder was out of the picture, we'd want this card for sure. I'm not sure we need that right now, though. And the Bandar Warrior. Oh, man, I really want to get this card into play. I think we're going to be getting this card out this round. It requires a good mark, a skull mark, and a stealth token. So we've already got the good mark. We've already got a stealth token. We need that skull. So let's... Oh boy. But how are we going to get... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So let's spend, as you can see, we have to spend a wild, right? That diamond is what it has to pay for. So we will spend a stealth, and that will let us look at the top card of any deck and then we get to gain resource of our choice if we trash it. So trashed. Let's take a look at the next Destiny card. Let's see what's coming up. Smoldering Heat, an ongoing event weather. These are bad. It's a bad weather card. Place any weather cards to the left of this card pile. Basically means that there'll be one weather card in the Destiny row at a time. That's fine. During this event going on, your hand size is going to be decreased by 1 less, so only drawing 2 cards per turn. And this card's going to stay forever. And then we're going to play another Destiny card, which is I don't think that's a rule for this. Where? Oh, my goodness, we forgot part 2 of the story of Devil. Well, here it is right here. So, all the wolves have +1 health, and if a Destiny card says play Destiny card, we're going to play a wolf instead. So, combined with this Smoldering Heat weather cards coming out, we are going to be getting a wolf very soon. And then if we train Devil, we're going to go on with the story on to part 3. So, we know the weather's card is coming. We know we don't like it. And we need to get that skull token from when we discarded Messages from the Jungle Drums. Okay, so we want to play the Bandar Warrior. We have all 3 of the tokens that we need for him. Let's get rid of these tokens. So we spent the skull, the good mark, and the stealth. And now we got this card out there in hand, and as we talked about, it's going to be really handy in combat. Okay, we need some tokens here. Let's just discard this for its stealth token. And both these allies, we don't have anything to attack right now. They're fighting the Destiny row. Why don't we tap them both, or exhaust them both, in order to get 2 training tokens on Little Devil. I'm going to place them underneath so it's easier to take a look at that card. Perfect. Alright, we have done our adventure phase. Fate phase, if they were enemies, we would take a wound. There are not. Cleanup phase, we are good there. Back to the top, recovery phase with no wounds to worry about. Let's untap. And let's pull out that weather card. Alright. Remember, it's going to be in play. Our hand size is decreased. And sorry, my apologies. We bring out a wolf. Okay. We've now gone preparation phase. We only get to draw 2 cards, which is terrible. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to get rid of this Seek Shelter card, and that will let us get rid of this ongoing event, this weather card. We do not need this. There. Alright. Sun's gone behind a cloud. We've Seek Shelter in the shade. It's no longer so hot. And we'll be much better placed later on. Let's see what we drew. Sprint card lets us draw a card. And Campfire. Oh, that doesn't let us draw a card. That symbol, sorry, lets us untap a card. So any exhausted cards, give them a break with Campfire. They stand back up, ready to advance the story. Well, we have a couple choices right now. We could discard these 2 cards, get the 2 stealth tokens, and then we could trade in 3 tokens of anything, any wild tokens, so the 3 stealth tokens, to get a skull, so we could initiate combat, so that we could get rid of the wolf. But, I kind of want to advance the story. I think I'm going to leave the wolf out, and I think we are going to finish training up Little Devil. So, to do that, we will tap both of these cards, gaining 2 more story events. Story tokens, training tokens. We need 1 more still. So let's spend a resource of any type to play the campfire, and let's immediately trash that card to stand up Thunder, and then exhaust him again, helping us train Little Devil, and there we go. So my interpretation is that as soon as this happens, the story advances. So we got the training tokens on him. Let's get rid of these. So he is trained, which means we are going to read part 3. Let's pull part 3 out. Here is the lore card, and we will read it first. Satan is furious, and his band of wolves is harassing the jungle. Small typos because it's kind of an early phase. My understanding is that things are getting fixed up. I read that and I feel like it should say his wolves are harassing the jungle. But let's continue on. So we remove Little Devil from the game. Alright, goodbye. And we get Devil as an ally, playing without paying its costs. There we go. Here's Devil. And we now have 3 allies in play at once. So let's give this achievement pack a shuffle. We've accomplished that achievement. That is third from the bottom. Or sorry, second from the bottom. Let's get ourselves a new card. Stripes. Ooh, it's an expensive card. Oh, okay. So another ally. And great ally, actually. We can exhaust him to add 3 more damage to any combat. But he costs 5. And 3 of them are skulls. A lot to cost to get this guy out. When you get an achievement card, you have 3 choices. Put it in your hand, put it in the discard pile, or put it into your player deck. I think it was around the top of your player deck. My understanding is right. I could be wrong. That's how I'm going to play it. There's no point discarding it entirely. I don't need it. Well, actually, it would be helpful. I would get a skull token if I discard it. Yeah, it's going to go into my hand. Okay. So, we've got Devil in play. Let's take a look at Devil. Alright, Devil's expensive, so thank goodness he comes into play already paid for. He's an ally, he's a wolf. We can exhaust him to add 2 to damage to any attack, or we can exhaust him to cancel an attack from a non-boss enemy. So instead of taking any wounds, we can just tap him and minimize that damage. So that is awesome. Or stop that damage, not minimize it, but you know what I mean. Alright, remove Little Devil, play Devil, add some more cards to our Destiny deck, and then pull out part 3. Alright, we'll put them on the top, and we will give that whole deck a shuffle like it says. And here is the new story, and part 3, the story of Devil part 3. If a Destiny card says play a Destiny card, instead place a wolf on the Destiny row. Put a token on this each time an enemy is defeated, and when this has at least 1 token on it, all wolves are +1. Oh boy. So once we hurt a wolf, we're going to anger them, and they are going to be harder to kill. And when we get 5 tokens, we're going to read part 5 of the story. Part 5 is the last part of the story. That was last played part of the story. There's part 6, but I think that is just the wrap-up, the denouement. So let's I guess let's get into this, eh? So it's still our turn. We have 2 of our allies tapped. Fortunately, Devil is here for us to help out. But we need a skull token to kill that wolf. Because I like to get rid of it right away. I really don't want to take an injury. So right away, I am going to discard Stripes, our new card we just got. We'll see him again on the deck. 3 shuffles, only 2 cards left in the deck. I'm sure he'll come back for the end of the game. And let's get rid of Sprint as well. And that's going to get us a Stealth token. Let's spend our Skull token, and let's begin combat. Right now, this wolf only has 1 health. That extra bonus health does not come into play until there's a token on this card. So anything we play, we'll get rid of it. There's 1 damage just for initiating combat, but let's find out. If we add any more? No, we would not add any more damage. So 1 damage to the wolf, just enough to get rid of it. Excellent. It goes back with the rest of its group, and we add a token. We are getting closer. Need 4 more of those tokens to finish this up. Alright, end of the turn. We clean up phase, nothing to clean up. Recovery phase. We don't need to heal, so let's get our allies ready to help out. Okay. Oh, this is a great event card. Calm in the Jungle. Place any weather card to the left of this on the resolved pile. Put this on the resolved pile. Yeah, we didn't really have to trash that card. We would have cleared that hot weather, that smoldering heat, next turn with this anyway. But we didn't know. And let's draw up. There's our 1 card. We will shuffle our discard pile and draw 2 more. Alright, Protective Ring of Fire. I think this is the first time we've seen this. Cost just a good mark. We can trash it so that only 1 enemy can deal damage this turn, so that minimizes how many wounds we take. Great little card if we start to get overwhelmed. Maybe we will get that out there. We'll think about it. The Colt, again, we still can't afford it. 3 skulls, hard to get. And that was to draw. Well, let's tap Thunder. Let's draw another card. Another Seek Shelter. The last one was useful, but not as useful as it seemed at the beginning. So we'll probably discard that. The real question is if we play this card to trash it to draw another card. Maybe next turn. That could get us up to 5 cards in our hand if we don't need to tap Thunder for something else. Yeah, okay. So let's for sure throw away the Colt. Get ourselves this Skull token. Let's also toss Seek Shelter. And let's spend a Stealth to play Sprint, so we have it ready if we need it. I'm actually going to hold on to this. I think we may want to be able to play this later. We don't have a good mark to pay for it, so it is going to stay in our hand. If you remember the cleanup phase, even though the card says discard all cards that are in hand, that rule's changed now, and you can choose how many cards to discard. You can keep cards from turn to turn, respecting, of course, your hand limit of 3. So I think we just leave that there. There's nothing else that we need to do. There's no enemies in the Destiny row for us to worry about. So that's the end of the turn. Cleanup phase. All we're going to do is tap. We're not going to discard down. Recovery phase. Untap Thunder. There's no wounds. And let's see what the Destiny has in store for us now. Wolf Pack. I have not seen this event. Put wolves from his resolved pile or from the side onto the Destiny row until there are 3 wolves in the Destiny row. Are you kidding me? Good thing we kept Protective Ring of Fire. Then resolve the card. Ooh, the flavor text. Satan is howling. The wolf pack smells blood. Okay, well. 3 wolves. This is rough. Remember, they have 1 health for each card with the subtype wolf in play. That includes themselves. So they have 3 health each, plus the mission card gives them an extra 1. They have 4 health each. We need to do 4 damage to each of them. We might be in trouble, folks. Oh boy. Alright, so Destiny phase, prep phase. We get to draw 2 cards. And that'll get us our skull, help with combat. We already have one, so probably discard that just to get the token. And I think we're going to be playing this, but let's let's just start by... Ooh, you know what? I think. Message from the Jungle Drums. We could look at the top card of our player deck and see if there's any skulls on it. And that'll help us know if it is a card we want to use for combat, or if we'd rather trash the sprint card to draw it, to hopefully find something else that had skulls instead. So let's do that. So this costs anything with that diamond, which is the wild resource. So we will play it to the deck. We will discard a stealth token to do that. We're going to trash it. Goodbye. And we are going to take a look at the top card of our deck. Hey, you know what? That's not bad. It's got a wild symbol. Wild can be a skull, so there's going to be 1 extra damage. I'm going to keep that for combat. So let's put that back. Okay, and we get a token. Normally, I would take a skull, but we might need Protective Ring of Fire. So let's grab Good Mark so we can pay for that later on. All right, let's jump right into combat and let's see how many of these wolves we can clear out. So spend that. We instantly get 1 damage. We already know this gives us an extra damage, so it's 2 damage. And we're definitely going to tap double to do 4 damage. And glitching out here. Four damage, as we know, is enough to get rid of a wolf, because each wolf has 4 health, because there's 3 wolves. So 1 health for each of the wolves, plus 1 health there. That is enough to get rid of one of these wolves, which also helps us advance the story track, as we put a token each time an enemy is defeated, and when there are 5 or more tokens, we read story 5. So now we have a little less risk to us. This card was from our combat, so it gets discarded. We are going to spend this good mark to put Protective Ring of Fire out. And why don't we tap Thunder to draw a card? Oh, that would have been far better for combat. That would have done a lot more damage. And you can spread out your damage to as many enemies as you want. So we could have, even though 4 damage is enough to kill 1 wolf, if we had done 7 damage, for example, we could have put those excess damage onto another card. So that would have been amazing. Oh well, that's the way it goes. You don't know what you're going to get. I still don't know if we're going to be able to get 3 skull tokens to pay for this. So let's trash it for a skull. And let's trash this for a phantom. Now we can attack as many times as we want, from my understanding of the rules. So, I mean, we might as well try to do a little bit more damage to these wolves. Let's spend a skull token. That does 1 damage minimum. Oh, we couldn't have asked for anything better. There are 3 skulls on this card, so that's an extra 3 damage for 4 damage. And those wild symbols count as skulls too. So we've got 5 damage just from this card. Amazing. This came from the achievement. Well worth paying attention to that achievement. So that gives us 5 damage plus the regular one. That is 6 damage, folks. That kills 2 of our wolves this round and does 2 damage. Actually, hold on. This only needs... This guy had 3 health. So we put 3 damage to him. So he is gone. This guy... We have 3 damage left. This guy now only has 2 health, in fact. He's gone too. We've got rid of 3 wolves this round. So that gives us 2 more story advancement tokens. And did we get another achievement? Place 2 enemies on the resolve pile on the same turn. We did that. My understanding is that those wolves should count. I know they don't go into the resolve pile, they're set aside instead. I think that still counts. They're still being destroyed. And then place 6 or more wound tokens on the same turn. We did that as well. We did 6 damage. We get 2 more achievements, folks. That's amazing. Let's take a quick peek at these. Let's see what we got. All right. Ooh, Bandar Medicine. Trash it to remove all injuries of a player, and if we were playing a 2-player version of this game, we could revive a fallen player. So I love that. And the battle suit. Ooh, another expensive card, but so many skulls would help with doing damage. And this will take a card from a Destiny row, shuffle a card from the Destiny row into its deck, and then play the Destiny deck. Oh, so I guess if you find something you really hate, you can put it back and hope you draw something better. Interesting. There's a deck building option if you get into that. We're not going to worry about that right now. Both these cards are amazing. I'd love to put the battle suit on the top of the deck. The problem is we're going to draw before we get into combat again. So it might as well go straight in my hand for your discard. And okay, Bandar Medicine we're definitely going to put in the top of our discard pile. And we're going to put the battle suit into our hand, and we're just going to discard it right away for a skull token. Maybe it'll come back around? We'll see. Alright, we didn't even need the Protective Ring of Fire. Look at us go. Alright, so end of the round, clean up. Well, things are a bit of a mess here. Put this token away, but we're pretty clean. And chances of us doing another achievement, probably pretty low. It's hard to talk with Tabletop Simulators. I can't really mark up this card. I'm not going to take the time to mark it down now, but hopefully remember which ones we managed to complete, because you only do them once. You can't do the same one over and over again to draw the more cards out. Let's get to the top of the order. We're going to do the recovery phase. We're going to bring unexhaust our heroic animal friends, and we are going to draw a destiny card. Maybe it should be an enemy. That'd be nice. Oh no, it's nice weather. Play any weather card to the left of this in the resolve pile. No weather cards, nothing to worry about. You gain an extra good mark during each preparation phase. Amazing. This card stays in play. Ooh, last enemy though. Play a destiny card when this is played. Remember that tells us that we are going to play a wolf. Here we go. And we gain that good mark in the preparation phase, which is perfect because that happens right now. So first things first, nice weather. Let's get a good mark. And we've got to draw up and then get rid of that last wolf to move the story on and see what happens next. Seek shelter. We've seen that before. Campfire, we've seen that before. And Bandar Medicine, we knew that was coming. You know, let's just spend that good mark right now and get that out on the table. I do not believe there's a limit to how many cards you can have in your tableau. So let's have that out there in case we ever need to heal up. Well, let's just jump right into combat here with that wolf. That wolf has 1+1 health for the mission card for a total of 2 health. let's flip. So we got one just for finishing combat, and ooh, no skulls. But we do have an axe. And if you remember our Bandar warrior, we can exhaust him and make axes into skulls. So let's do that. That gives us 1 damage for initiating combat and 1 damage for that good mark axe. Thanks to our helpful Bandar warrior, great ally. And that's enough to get rid of this last wolf. And, well, we don't need to add the time token, but it feels kind of good. Very satisfying. That is 5 time tokens. It is time for us to read part 5. Oh, yeah, we skipped part 4. Yeah, I think part 4 is only for... Yeah, okay, so if you play Mythic, you would draw part 4 cards, but we don't do that, so straight on to part 5. You decide that Satan must be fought. While tracking him, you get lured into his trap. Okay. Here is Satan on normal. He has 6 health. He is an objective, an enemy, a boss, and a wolf. And there's a great quote from the Phantom. Satan has also become crazy and wants his revenge on humans. I love it. Alright. So Satan is out. He's got 6 health. Oh boy. And we need to pull out part 5 of our story. We are definitely not playing the heroic side. Here we go. Story of Devil Part 5. All wolves have +1 health. Do not draw destiny cards in the destiny phase. Fine by me. And if Satan is placed in the resolve pile, basically defeated, read Part 6. Alright. Now do keep in mind, this is on normal/easy mode. I've played it on higher difficulties. It gets quite a bit more difficult, but you know, I still enjoy playing through this on these lower difficulties. It really is a good chance to learn the game, and of course, this is the first scenario of the 3 in the box. So, you know, not surprising it's a little bit easier, but it is still, we're still having fun here. I'm quite enjoying this. Or I could be playing everything completely wrong, and we should have died long ago. Who knows? So, Satan has 6 health, +1 from this card. There are no other enemies to worry about, and nothing else is going to come out during the Destiny phase, so we just have to focus on getting rid of Satan. Right. Keep back, Satan. We do not have any combat tokens. We do not have any weapons. However, if we discard these 2 cards, which we're going to do for those 2 phantom tokens, or stealth tokens, we can trade 3 of anything for a skull. So we're going to trade these 3 phantoms for a skull, spend that skull to initiate combat, and we get +1, or damage, 1 damage immediately, and then we can add some more. And my goodness, if we are not going to use our now trained Loyal Wolf Devil to help us with that +2 damage. He's not a dog, he's a wolf. Alright. So, spend those, get a skull, spend a skull, and it is time to attack. So, oh, we've already tapped this guy, haven't we? Well, still do some damage. Draw the top card. Alright, not bad. A wild symbol, which stands for a skull, so we get 1 + 1 is 2. And let's tap Devil. Notice that we can't cancel the attack. We can't save Devil to help us cancel the attack because we're fighting a boss. So there's no point in using his exhaust ability to stop that wound from happening, because we're not going to be killing Satan this turn, so we're going to definitely take a wound at the end, unless something amazing happens. You never know. So we're going to tap him instead, or exhaust him instead, to get our +2 damage. So we get 1 for initiating combat, we get 1 for the diamond, and we get 2 more for devil. That brings us to 4 damage, 4 pows. Straight to the face. Or wherever. And he has 6 + 1, so he's 7. He has 3 health left. Not much else we could do. So, well, do we tap Thunder? I mean, might as well. Alright, draw a card. What did we draw? Anything good? A campfire. Ready a card. Well, let's just discard it for a stealth. Maybe didn't need to do that. I don't know. It would have been nice to keep that wild symbol. Well, no, we can't attack anyway. We draw it. So, alright. Alright, we are into the fate phase. We take a damage. And I'm just going to place it there. And it is a shoulder injury. We knew that was coming. We looked at it a long time ago. We can no longer use weapons. If we ever draw a second shoulder injury when while this is still in play, we will lose the game. You know what? We got to take the risk. We've got to get rid of Satan. So during the recovery phase, because again, nothing to clean up, we have a choice. We could get rid of this wound, discard it, so we're no longer injured, or we could ready our 3 allies, and I want our allies here to help us out in finishing off Satan this turn, hopefully. So we are going to just fight through with a shoulder wound and shoulder injury, and we are going to untap. Remember, this card says, this card says that no destinies are do not draw destiny cards in the destiny phase. So we are now at the destiny phase. We're not going to draw any cards. That's great. Balmy weather. This is the best time it could ever come out, really, because it stays in play now to the end of the game. We get a good mark token. Always use one of those, and we draw 3 cards. And you know, we may as well. Well, let's see what we get first. Yeah, we definitely want to use this to see. We want to make sure we load up a deck. We're going to use its ability, Message from the Jungle Drums. Use that special ability to flip a card or take a look at the top card of our player deck and to see what it is, so we can make sure that we are loading our top card into something that is useful for attacking Satan with. So let's do that. Let's shuffle this up. And let's immediately spend this stealth token to pay for Message for the Jungle Drums. And then we will trash it and look at the top card. Oh, this is the best. One of the best. I mean, obviously, Stripes, the tiger, is the best card we could possibly have at the top of our deck right now. This is almost as good, and it's more than enough to get rid of Satan. So we won't even play with the rest of that turn in a meaningful way. Remember, gain resource of our choice. Let's get a skull token. Let's spend a skull token to initiate combat. Let's flip a card to see what we're going to do for damage. We already know it's doing 3 + 1. We are doing 4 damage to Satan. Satan only had 3 health left. We've done 4 damage. He had 7 total. That is more than enough to defeat Satan. Satan the wolf has been defeated. Alright. If Satan is placed in the resolve pile, well, I know we do that to feel really good about ourselves. Please read. Oh, there's a harder Satan. Let's get rid of him. Alright. Read 6. Alright, lower card 6. Congratulations, you've won. Peace in the jungle is restored. After Satan's demise, the other wolves go back to the mountains, and Devil decides to join you as a trusted companion and friend. Place Unspoken Bond, card 43, in your deck. So, if you were playing on for more adventures, you would add this card, and you can play this card to remove it from the game. So it's only a one-use card per game, and you can play a non-human ally without paying its cost. Maybe you'd want to play Devil for the thematics. Maybe you'd want to play Stripes for its special abilities, or maybe Thunder. Um, but now we've got that card for next time. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope that gives you a good feel for what this game is like. If you're a fan of the Phantom, this might be right up your alley. I believe all the scenarios, or at least this scenario specifically, is taken right from the original comics. And my understanding is all of them are, I think, but don't hold me to that. I have not read the story. I know very little about the Phantom, but what I do know was enough to carry this game for me. And if I knew nothing about the Phantom, I think I still would have enjoyed playing through these cards. But don't take my word for it. Think about what you've watched, see if you enjoyed it, and if you happen to enjoy what you saw, you may want to investigate this game further. It is being crowdfunded right now, uh, and I'm sure it'll be around. And definitely, if you have Tabletop Simulator, this is something that you would probably want to try out this first scenario. There's a print and play version floating around as well, and I hope you enjoy it. And I really appreciate you joining me on this little adventure with the Phantom. All right, take care.